welcome to my channel. Today we're going to make some super soft and fluffy and dairy cinnamon rolls. One of the best that you will ever eat in your life, I assure you. So we will start by incorporating our wet ingredients first with milk, dry yeast or fresh yeast if you prefer, 3 full eggs, and later on soft butter. After this, we will go on and combine our dry ingredients with all-purpose flour, cornstarch, granulated sugar, and salt. And finally, the filling of our cinnamon rolls with packed brown sugar and soft. So as I said, now we're going to combine our ingredients. We will start by breaking a bit our eggs and whisking them a bit before adding them into the milk. Okay, so now that they're more or less beaten, we can put that inside our milk. Make sure to put all of your eggs and mix them all together again. Mix the eggs with the milk. Once it's well incorporated, we can add our yeast and also beat it well. Okay, so now as I said, we're going to add our flour inside our stand mixer bowl, then our cornstarch, our sugar, and our salt. After this, we're going to put the dough hook on our stand mixer, and on a low speed, we're going to mix it all. This could take about 30 to 40 seconds. Now we're going to add on a low speed our liquid mixture. Now once it's more or less incorporated, we're going to put our stand mixer on a low speed and add our butter that is cut into pieces. So as you see, I'm almost done with my butter. Once all the butter is incorporated, I will speed up the speed of my stand mixer to a number 3 or a number 4, which is a medium speed or medium high. Now I'm going to slowly speed up to number 2. For about 30 seconds, and then I will speed up even more. As you see, my dough is not sticking anymore, and this means that it is done. So now I'm going to keep it out. It's been kneading for about 15 minutes, and it seems that it's pretty soft and fluffy, as you can see, and also pillowy. You could almost sleep on it as a pillow, use it as a pillow. And now I'm going to transfer it into a bowl, a greased bowl, and let it rest for about 45 to 1 hour until it doubles its size. As you can see, it's really soft and fluffy. I'm just going to tuck it in a little bit so that it's really firm and stays within its shape, and leave it into the bowl. Now I'm going to put some plastic wrap around it, and that's it. Now you can leave it you can cover it and leave it like this for 45 minutes up to an hour. As I said, you can leave it in your oven or someplace that keeps it a little bit warm. I'm going to leave it in my oven in order for it to proof. So as you can see, my dough has risen. It has doubled its size, more or less. Has been in the oven, as I said before, of course turned off with a minimum amount of heat. And as you can see, it's a very fluffy dough. It's very airy also because of the gas created by the yeast. And now we're going to spread it and spread also the filling that is going to consist of sugar, cinnamon, and to help it stick some butter, soften. I'm currently spraying a bit of flour, not too much. It's just in order that the dough doesn't stick too much. And now I'm placing my dough here. I'm going to spread it with a roll. So now my dough is spread enough, so it's a square of about 18 inches more or less. So, and now I'm going to spread my softening butter all along the dough. I'm going to use a very special sugar that I usually always use in my recipes when I use brown sugar. It's organic, it's bio, and it smells wonderfully. It also brings amazing flavors to your recipes, and I really advise you to use a high quality sugar, brown sugar like this one. So I'm going to add our cinnamon and mix it. You can use as much sugar as you wish on your cinnamon rolls. You don't know how it smells. It smells so good. This sugar is really amazing. So as I said, the sugar is something that is going to bring to your dough a lot of flavor. So now that it's more or less combined, I'm going to add my sugar to the dough and try to spread it more or less evenly around the dough. It's really easy to spread also. So the sugar, you can use it. You can use as much as you want. It's really up to you if you want some more or a little bit less. Once my sugar and all the filling ingredients is well distributed, I'm going to start to roll the dough. Try to roll it as tightly as possible, because this will create really well done swirls. So I'm almost there. I'm almost finished with rolling this dough. As you see, I'm trying to tuck it in as much as possible and roll it as tightly as possible in order to have good swirls. Now, with what is finished, I'm going to pinch it in order that the other side stays well stuck there, so that it doesn't move. I'm going to stretch it a little bit and try to even it out a little bit. And now we're going to start cutting the dough. And there, you can use them for something else. You can also bake them if you want to. And now I'm going to cut them in half, like this more or less. Again in halves, in halves, in halves, in halves, in halves, and in half. Okay? And now I'm going to start cutting it. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now I'm going to put these rolls on that tin. I'm going to spray it a little bit. So under there's a parchment paper, and I'm going to spray it a little bit as, to be sure, a bit of cooking spray. And I'm going to put the cinnamon rolls. Look at the amazing color of our sugar here. You will see in a moment after they are approved, you will see the beautiful swirls of the cinnamon rolls. And that's it. And now we're going to let them proof for about 30 minutes. So now I'm going to make a bigger cinnamon roll with the other half of the dough. And now I'm going to stretch it more or less as I want it to be. As big and as large as I want it to be. So as you see, now I have already spread my dough as I wanted to make a huge cinnamon roll with the other half of the dough that I had left. So now, as before, I'm going to spread the softened butter and then I will add my sugar. So as you can see, now my butter is more or less well spread across the whole dough. So I'm going to go and spread the sugar, the cinnamon and sugar that I have mixed before onto the roll. As always, this sugar smells really amazing. I really recommend you, as I said before, to use really good quality sugar, since it will give you a really good taste overall. So now I'm going to start rolling the dough really tightly. As always, at the beginning you have to roll it really tightly, and also overall during the whole process. Really try to keep it tight, because once it's tight, it will really help you to continue. So now I'm almost there, so I'm going to tuck it in, what is left of the dough, and pinch it in order to keep it all as one roll. So now, so that it stays all really good, I'm going to cut the excess. You can also bake it, don't throw it away. And now I'm going to put my cinnamon roll in my baking tray. As you see, it's really quite big, so I hope that you have enough space to put it in. I'm going to squeeze it in order to try to stabilize it, and I will let it proof for about 45. So, as you can see, guys, my cinnamon rolls are done. They have been in the oven for a little over 30 minutes. Your time may also vary, because of different factors such as the oven or other factors. And here we have our super fluffy and airy cinnamon rolls. So now I'm going to take a small piece from the center, and as you see, it's really, really fluffy. When you touch it, it bounces back. It's really delightful to see, and obviously I have to try a small piece of it. You can feel the cinnamon, the sugar, the softness of the bun. It's really wonderful.